Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope things are well in your world. I have a special treat for you today. We're going to draft a deck that's not blue-green in Baldur's Gate. I know, big surprise. Sometimes blue isn't open and I actually get to play the other archetypes and they're actually pretty dang fun. I like this one a lot. This is a fun deck, a fun build, a fun experience to kind of see it come together. I hope that you'll enjoy it as well. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. I'm at 955 subscribers. I'm so close to 1,000, I can taste it. So if you would like to help out the channel and get an alert when there's a new video to watch, just click that button. It'll let you know when there's a new video. And like I said, it would mean a lot to me. All right, thank you so much for being here and enjoy the draft. All right, I don't know what this card does. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has reach. When equipped creature is dealt damage, it deals damage equal to its power to target player. Okay, well that sucks. Ambergris I like. I do think this is playable, although not great. You don't need to pick Charmed Sleeps very highly. So I think this is just a pretty easy Ambergris. I don't really see anything competing with it. The goggles are pretty bad. This equipment is strong to play against. How? I absolutely do not understand how. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Is Lava Axe good? Okay. So it has to go in a very specific deck like Lava Axe. This is kind of a build your own Lava Axe and it's repeatable. And like, I get it and how that could be cool, but I'm not looking to do that. Yeah, I see what it does. If you can get them to the point, this is just a difference in how I draft and how a lot of other people draft. If you can get someone to the point that it's difficult for them to block because you've been so aggressive, then that can close out a game. But I'm not looking for cards that can close out a game. I'm looking for cards that can stabilize and get me back from when I'm behind. Closing out a game will happen naturally if you just get ahead of your opponent. I like Grave Choice. I also like Grim Bounty, and I like Blessed Hippogriff here. So I can see how some people would take it and be interested in drafting that card a lot. It's not one that I'm ever going to value. You know, I've never valued this card high enough. Let's try it. Because I've never actually gotten to play with this, and I think you have to take it there if you ever want to. So options here are to take Lindsay and kind of go into the blue-red deck that I always draft, or to actually go for this and take the Incessant Provocation and then look for every Sepulchre Ghoul that I see. And frankly, I want to feel something. So let's try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll get off of it. I do like Split the Spoils a lot. And Grey Salad is like, fine, man. I don't care for the Walrus at all. I've never put it in a deck and I really don't think I ever will. I don't think it's a very good card. Let's take Split the Spoils. I think it's the best card in the pack. If I need to get off of this, I can. Yeah, we're just not seeing any black cards, but we are seeing the pieces for green dragon things. If that's there, we could consider Thrakus and looking at just trying to be green-red. There's some interesting interactions between Ambergris and Split the Spoils. Green-black is still on the table. And that does make something like Split the Spoils a lot better when you can do a little bit of self-mill. But I'll default to the uncommon and see where it takes us. I'm pretty happy splashing in green because you can usually get these Myconids. This feels like a really late Dragon's Fire to me. So I think between that and Amberger, we're gonna be red and then figure out what the other colors are. I don't always want Basilisks in red-green, but it's the best card in the pack, I think. I do like Tavern as well. You can play Windfall, you can play Summon Undead, you can play Iron Golem. I think I'm generally happier with Summon Undead. I'm still not entirely convinced we're not going to be green-black. So there's a pretty late Charmed Sleep. There's Warriors of Tiamat, which I do kind of like. The Druidic Ritual and a Follow the Tracks, which I like. If we're really looking at green-red, this is probably what we're looking at so far. I could jam the one copy of Warriors and be pretty happy. Druidic Ritual is playable in this deck, although not great. Yeah, I think we're finally going to get a draft that isn't blue, which is interesting. And I suppose, frankly, red-black is still on the table. We're in some flavor of Jund colors. Because, like, these black cards aren't bad. Yeah, I think we're going to get a non-blue draft, which is interesting. I haven't done one of those in quite some time. I think it can win games from behind if you've gotten ahead and then fallen behind. He says and then opens Nira and strongly considers it. But I might just take the other Dragon's Fire and be pretty happy with these red cards and see where that takes me. Yeah, I've been pretty happy with Dragon's Fire, and if that needs to be my 2-drop, it can be. It makes pairing it with something like Split the Spoils a little worse, because you may have to use Dragon's Fire as a 2-drop, and Split the Spoils can't return Dragon's Fire, which is a bit of an issue. So we're not totally surprised to see blue-green cards coming by because no one will take them. There is a Sewer Plague, though. How do we feel about potentially being red-black from here? It's like I can play the Gray Salad. I could conceivably play some of these cards too. I mean, we're going to have really good removal and no 2-drops. But maybe I can snag a couple Sepulchral Ghouls. I haven't played this color combination before, so I'm pretty interested in getting a chance to try it. Let's tentatively call ourselves red-black. It's a little harder with the Muralists, because like having access to just draw Thrakkus is pretty neat. And like in theory, I could splash these two things and just have a good red-green deck. Meh. Yeah, it's not competing really with anything here. Okay, and there's my Owlbear versus another sewer plague, so it's really time to make that decision. Congratulations, nobody. There is a Rabble Rouser if we want to delay the decision. And I kind of do. Like, I'm going to need 2s, and this is a really solid red 2, and we know we're red. I think this is potentially the best red 2-drop. Well, I don't even think it's potential. I think it's just obviously the best red 2-drop. It's like a late Humiliation. Earth Cult Elemental's okay for top end. It's not like wonderful. Fireball's like kind of bad removal in this set. Yeah, I don't have a 6, and I usually want 1/6, so I think we'll say we'll play this. There's a Ghoul. All right, let's do it. These are still potentially playable. I just kind of don't want to if we can avoid it. It's another Gray Salad. If I play 2 Gray Salads, I could probably just put Summon Undead in the deck and be relatively happy with that. Okay, that's a late Prowler. I'm very happy to see that going back by. It's also kind of a late Hippogriff, but this is beginning to shape up. Yeah, between Ambergris and the two salads, I think the Sewer Plague might be playable. The Provocation probably wants at least 2 ghouls to really be in the deck, because it's not like we're realistically going to get to 10 mana and Provocation into Earth Cult Elemental, but it could happen, particularly if we get a couple treasure spells. There's not a ton of card advantage going on right now, which makes me a little nervous. We're kind of on trying to get Ambergris to do that for us. Yeah, Prowler's fantastic. I saw people initially valuing the Basilisk over the Prowler, and I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. So this would get me a Gray Salad, but it's going to die. Or I could just take infinite Gray Salads. I don't think I want more Gray Salads, but if I do, we got them. Feels late-ish too, but I literally have no 4s, and this guy's remarkably okay. What a world we've gotten to where I see Borderland Minotaur stats, and I'm like, yeah, you can play it. Sad times. Manticore's alright. I don't think I'm looking to main it, but we could. Armor of Shadows has been okay too if you've got enough creatures, which you probably will. It's a nice, cheap combat trick. Battlecry Goblin's quite nice. I think it's just barely better than the Prowler. Although, that's arguable. But like, if you can slightly get ahead, this will close out a game. This kind of does what that artifact does, in my opinion, but does it in a way I'm more comfortable with. Because if I need to block in the early game, this does that. It does everything a 2-drop does. And in the late game, it can give me a line to try to win by just farting out a bunch of goblin buddies. So I think I'm going to give it a go. This guy's okay. But I think I'm kind of just happy with all the Sewer Plagues. I wouldn't mind a Gate or 2. It's another really solid removal spell. This thing looks like it would close out a game. Problem is you only get the effect once, and we're not really a treasure-heavy deck. This gives us potentially another sacrifice effect to pair with the Provocation, but I think we just take this. I'm incredibly interested in some form of card advantage now. Why, hello there, Bag of Holding. Where have you been all my life? Yeah, we've got kind of removal tribal going, which is cool, but no real flood protection, right? Like we've got one double teamer, one mana sink if I can attack, another double teamer here, Ambergris if she can attack to get things going, but Bag of Holding is kind of exactly what the doctor ordered. Fury's another really nice removal spell. I'm also quite interested in weaponry and the other Rabble Rouser, but I'm not going to pass that up. It is indeed removal tribal now. It's another Provocation, which I don't think we're going to end up playing, so I'll just take the Wild Mage for collection purposes. Chain Devil I'll probably play, though. I don't mind one of them. This thing's okay. It's just we're not making a lot of treasure. I guess it's kind of a 2-mana 2/3 if you think about it. I should probably play it. And it does make any other thing that produces treasure, like say a random young red dragon, pretty handy to put in the deck. So, alright, fine. And I do need a few more creatures to fill out this Summon Undead. Alright, cool. I'll kill them the old-fashioned way, with Borderland Minotaurs. That might be interesting if somebody else has, like, a ton of sacrifice effects. Fury's the best removal spell? No, I don't think so. It's interesting. I think Sewer Plague is one of the better removal spells in this format. It kills anything given a little bit of time. There's another piece of card advantage, and I might want that. I don't think I'm going to main deck it, but I could. And I got my Chain Devil anyway. Ooh, and a weaponry and a rabble rouser? Dude, this is all so good. I'm gonna have to make cuts. I just like the fact that Sewer Plague gets rid of the thing quick enough that it's not going to kill you, and then kind of also prevents it from coming back and being a problem later. So I'm mainly playing this so I can get an extra treasure token for Callian, which doesn't matter and it doesn't block. So that's a relatively easy cut. At issue is I need to cut another card. And it probably can't be a creature. The Summon Undead is probably the weakest link here. So I think it's got to go. I can appreciate that everything else has a place, even the provocation, because I've got 2 combos with it. We've got the Ghoul, in some worlds the Chain Devil, and in some worlds the Bag of Holding. So you probably go a little heavier red here. It might even be 10-7. Because so many of my 2s are red, I've got double reds and no double black. Yeah, I think this is a 10-7 mana base. You don't see that very often either. Well, you don't see people play it very often. You probably should. I don't know what sleeves I want to use. I figure they'll strike me eventually. You know what? Cheers, Anji. Cheers. I like it. All right, let's take this thing out for a spin. Here we go. That'll work. So if I grave choice that, oh, it has to have mana value 2 or less for me to get a copy of it. Run on time, Bag of Holding, as always. Boop. The hexproof for a turn doesn't super matter if most of my removal is instant speed, and it is. I figure we may as well use the grave choice to nab a 2-drop, because why not? That's kind of what it do. It won't nab that one. Well, it might. If they're smart, they'll sack it in response. But I'm kind of okay with that. What's up, Try? How you be? This is a draft deck in Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate. Traditional best of 3 draft. Much valor. Got so many options with the instant speed removal. Good 20 years ago, good today. Their best block is probably to double block the Rabble Rouser, but I don't even know that that's great for them. Yeah, I'll let them have it. This is fine. That we'll have to take a tiny break for, but that's all right. I don't think I need to plague it. Nah, I think I'm going to hold it up anyway. Let's see what they do. Just trading it for the Prowler is fine by me. It's a huge hit, but yeah, they may not be able to do it. Okay, if they're doing that, I probably do want to plague it. Because I don't, well, unless this is a land. Okay, yeah, I probably do want to plague it. Because now I don't have solid blocks. And we're going to need solid blocks. Yeah, I would think so. Pre-combat certainly would have been better. Hiya! This deck's working great. Like a charm. Yeah, I like it quite a bit. All right, so what do we need against a dragon deck? Infinite Valor Singers, Thrakus. They do appear to be missing the card advantage. We never needed this, but it felt really nice to have it in case we'd flood it out. I guess I would want to prioritize things that can stop us getting run over early game. I might need a Manticore to counter the Red Dragon. I don't know that these Rabble Rousers are going to be as good. The Grey Salad can at least block the Valor Singers. which is handy. Hey, what's up, Enlighten? I still feel like provocation could get us a win out of nowhere. I mean, maybe the answer is I cut Kellyan. It doesn't block anything and I'm on the draw. I think that might actually be the line. I sort of want to try to get the Armor of Shadows in too, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense with as few creatures as we're playing, and I'm not cutting removal. So I think this looks pretty good to me. It's not an insane keep, but I can't quite get there. This one I can work with. I think we can send back the 6, especially given that we have the Bag of Holding. I'm a little nervous that we have a 2-drop that's not a great blocker. This is obviously better when it can attack and you can get the value from it. And mulliganing on the draw isn't quite as punishing. We ended up with a deck that's not really interested in milling itself much. Okay, hitting the Rabble-Rouser here is pretty good. I like that. Really need to hit another land here. So I think we're going to hit Bag of Holding instead of playing the other Rabble-Rouser. Yeah, I think it's actually going to get discarded. Well, I mean, technically not discarded, but if we miss the land drops, we lose the game. So we'll probably be activating this until we hit lands. We've got a decent adjacent curve if we can recover from here, but they should be able to do a lot to really mess me up on 5. That being one of them. So we could use a mountain pretty quick. All right. That's a good start. I think we are going to plague that. Oh, shoot. I should have done that on my turn. I'm bad. We're not going to talk about that. Don't need your judgment. The old instant speed removal curse got me again. I'll take an extra 2 points of damage from shame. I deserve that. All right, now we can sort of start doing things. I think I like having a blocker to start. I need to let this die fully before we consider chain deviling. Okay. You really just want to hit me for 8. Okay. I'll go to 6. That could be really fun soon. Feels weird, but I don't need you right now. I'm scared they're going to play a large flyer. And I'll need to provoke it. I might be in danger without instant speed removal and the life total being so low. Need to watch out for a trample spell too. That beats the trample spell. All right, the provocation should be pretty good for us here, provided they don't have a haste creature. Hiya. Let's send you back to the graveyard. Hello. Yeah. All right. Let's have our mascot come on and say hello. She's not our mascot. She is the future generation of streamers. What a smart baby. We drafted Red Black today. It's a pretty good deck in this format, but I don't get to draft it very often because everybody else fights over it. I can't see my cards. It's okay, little one. You are welcome to praise and spam send babies. What a smart little baby. You're a little cutie.
Send baby, send baby, send baby.
I should use the sorcery speed removal on this thing. Hey, what's up, Zurgeon? Thank you for the resub, my friend. Y'all spam some cats for Zurgeon. You do not need to play with the pop filter. No, that's not for babies. Thank you, darling.
Summer cabin greetings from the Zerok
We're adjusting
family.
the microphone twice.
She's helping.
Yes, I'm helping. You're the next generation of Slim. I'll put you in the bottle.
I love you too. Tommy, thank you for the resub. Summer cabin, Isorok family. Okay. I hope it's somewhere cool. Hiya! Thank you for spamming cats, Try. Let us take a moment and spam the cats. For Zurgeon and Isorok, I will say Dunkashun and Kitos. All right, looks like we can go again. Let's do it. That's not a cat. It'll work. It ain't pretty, but it'll work. I don't think it's a turtle either. Not what I wanted to do with my Dragon's Fire. But may need to be what I do with my Dragon's Fire. I will cast it this turn. I'm just going to see if they play anything better first. They didn't, so you got to go. That is unfortunate. Not quite what I was after, but at least they are also suffering. I doubt that it is the mono-red mirror match. But it do kind of feel like it. You guys avoided the heat wave? Nice. Okay, we're gonna be in trouble here. Because that thing's pretty good. We ain't blocking nothing. Alright. I guess we're earth culting. That's value. You did your job, buddy. What are the chances we can try to make them block? I'm putting myself dead to an act of treason, but I'm dead to it anyway. So I kind of have to try to race this. They've got more hasty creature. They've got at least one more hasty creature that we know of. Not enough to kill me. The vigilance is pretty good, though. Alright, so I can Sewer Plague the Moradin's Disciples. Be okay there. And at least get a draw here. Yuck. Alright, I'm going to have to be a little more careful about my openers. I think here I'd rather risk the Black Mana Flood than potentially be in a spot for that to happen again, because that was a bit of a catastrophe. But it was just missing the mana, right? Like, if we're not missing the mana, there's not actually a problem here. Good. I don't love the Warriors of Tiamat in this scenario. Really, or the Salads. Hey, what's up, Scary? How you been? Don't really have anything better to try to bring in. Feel like I've seen Capped around in chat. Who is Capped? I don't think I've seen them in my chat. But you might have seen them somewhere else. Yeah, so I don't have much of a sideboard. I think we can still try this. I just need a decent mana spread. I was really confused. I don't even register my opponent's names unless they're pretty ridiculous. All right, that'll work. We got good blockers. We got a bag of holding. We got a combo with provocation. Oh, congratulations, Scary. Sim Baby will be 3 months in just a little bit. Is this your first? It's your first? Okay, it's absolutely amazing. I think the first 3 weeks to a month was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. You know what? Here. I'll have a giant rabble rouser if that's what I want. Funny is we could play her attack and keep all of the cards, which is pretty neat. If we wanted to. I could also just play her and attack for like 6 right now. They will probably kill her. Man, I'm tempted to do it just because all the cards go under the bag of holding. It's sort of like draw 5 if she gets to attack. I'm doing it. If they've got artifact removal, I'm in danger. Have a good one, Scary. These are just cards for later if this doesn't kill them first. All right, so I specialize her for 3. All I can do is make her red if that's what we want to do. Which I'm pretty comfortable with. Doesn't actually trigger because we're not technically discarding the cards, but let's get furious. Okay, that was a pretty good draw for Amber. Kind of stupid. A little bit of a combo there. Yeah, I just can't keep a slow hand is the only thing here. Like I can totally beat an aggro deck. I just can't keep a slow hand. So kind of sucks, but I'll have to mulligan if we don't have at least a 2-drop. That has a 2-drop and a dang good one. It also has Grave Choice, which as a 3 will kill something. The challenge is we don't have the black mana. So we kept this earlier and it was scary, but I sided in an extra swamp specifically so that I can keep this hand. Because we should be able to rip a swamp in the next 2 or 3 draws. There's 8 of them in the deck. So getting one on the next draw would be cool. Getting one on the draw after that would be actually kind of likely. It would be swell to hit it now, though. That kill him? That's no good. But this is helpful. Getting intense. If they miss an attack this turn, we might be alright. Stable. Barely, but stable. We also nabbed a major source of card advantage for them in this Lyra. So if we're going to get out of this, that's how. With Sewer Plague, I should have an attack here. Because even if they give something haste, I can conceivably kill it. Go get him, team. I think I like this just so that it keeps getting shrunk, because their plan is obviously to give it haste and then swing back with it. So this just means it's a 3-3 coming in instead of a 5-5, and I can handle that. So we end up potentially taking one here, because I can pump these twice and trade them off with things. So I think we're okay, unless they've got another Rescuer Chungus. But I don't think they have another Rescuer Chungus. I'll take the blocks. I still don't think I'm scared of the War Caller, but we'll see if I should be. I think they've got another Rescuer Chungus potentially. I don't know, but it is telling us that they've got another creature in play. Oh, you're talking about me. I didn't think about it. I put them at 6. That should be enough. Holding one land in case we rip a bag of holding. Like that. Because removal spells are currently lethal. Although lands are not. Hey, still got its value. Now we're holding one to discard to Ambergris. Hiya! Aggro decks, ladies and gentlemen. All too easy. It wasn't easy. That was actually a very difficult match. I've got a giant gift box mailed to me from Ultra Pro that I want to open up and check out. And we're definitely going to play some more Cycle this afternoon. Well, I say afternoon. It won't be afternoon. It'll still be morning. But I definitely want to play some more Cycle. I've really been enjoying that game. But we'll do at least one more draft today. Maybe 2. We'll see. I do quite like this format. So when the drafting's good, may as well draft. Feeling a little ghoulish. What happened to the 5th Monarch, out of curiosity? I might should have just let him have that, now that I think about it. I'm so used to this killing something, I didn't even think about it. But like, I could have been relatively happy with the 3-2 there. It took 6 for Xbox to allow the name. Ah, got it. Okay. Yeah, I should have just let her turn into a 3-2 and been happy with that. That was a move of desperation from them. So I think that was a pretty large mistake on my part. We'll see if we can kind of force it through with these rabble-rousers, though. I may still be able to technically aggro them out here. I'm just so used to this being basically, you know, swords to plowshares that my brain didn't bother to recognize that it wasn't there. It's also like a little heuristic where if somebody targets one of your creatures, you obviously sacrifice it to your Nentuko Shade. Or Nentuko Husk. Shade you could pop. Husk you could sacrifice things to. Oh, the Husk got that too. What was the one that you could, what was the one that you could pump? That must have been Shade. Okay. I'm remembering correctly. Shade pumped, Husk sacked. Loo. It's getting a little rough. They'd have to double block this to kill it. It's not quite lethal. But I'm not enabling another attack if I play the devil. I think that means we attack first with just the Rouser. They can gain a good bit of this life back. And I think I'd rather play to drawing another land than the Bag of Holding, because I'm more likely to draw a land than the bag. Pretty good. So if I attack with this, it can be pumped 3 times. They still don't have great blocks. But they would certainly trade it here. Like double block with these two. Let's see how they block. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. I think I want to get enthusiastic against that because that's another way to gain life. And I'd rather them not have that. It's not great for me. They're catching up and I don't care for it. I will now need some good draws to get back in this game. That is not one. It was a bad time to flood out. We almost closed this. Alrighty. Let's rouse some rabble. They drew a reanimation spell. That's awkward. So we've got 5, 6, 7. I would need to pump 3 times to get this, which I can do. So I don't need to play the bag first, right? Yeah. Probably still prefer to have the 2 creatures in play, though. Man, these things are clutch at closing out a game. That was actually really close to them stabilizing. All right, so we've got some pretty decent reanimation in these Bonecaller Clerics, solid removal, and gotta remember to play nicely with Patriarch's Humiliation. Because I really was trying to throw that game away from what I could tell. Summon Undead could be useful adjacent. But I don't really think I need it. Yeah, we might just be fine against that. These things have been really, really strong. Meh, let's run it back. It's possible they had a bad draw. Such things have happened before. That'll work. Everybody grab a leg. Hacha! Mana efficiency? Yeah, I think so. We'll give him a grave choice. I'm never going to get value off of this thing, but it's fine. We're getting value out of it, right? Like, it's killing a thing. That's cool. Because, like, just curving Sellsword into warriors can be kind of game-ending. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the cell sword. You want to make this trade, that's fine. We can make their humiliation worse by just trying to keep the board really clear. It's basically another edict, if you think about it. I think we're going to see if we could get a little more value out of this thing. Because I can haste it out and use it to kill him, and we're currently ahead anyway, so this feels pretty good. I guess we stick the land under there and have as many options as we can for the following turn. Hasty Goblin's pretty dang good at closing this out, too. Because that gives us pack tactics. I think I like that. All right, in this case, it's fine. I still get to keep the 2/2. It's just a little more vanilla. Can cast both of these and get the warriors later. That's not terrible either. But I think I like making the 2 play here. Either way is dead. Let's get a salad. That can immediately come out and have menace. If we use the Chain Devil to kill something. Which looks like we're gonna. This leaves them in a pretty rough spot. Yeah. And Bag of Holding is so good. It really ties the room together. What a card. What an absolute unit. And they're free. Nobody takes them. It's probably the best part is you don't have to pick it particularly highly. Farewell. That was not a bad draft at all. I do miss the 500 gems you used to get, but not too shabby. And a very big thank you to my patrons. Thank you, Punk, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Fasty, Rich, Brandon, Jazzy, Craig, and Geis. I appreciate y'all.